Okay. Hi, everyone. It's Wendy Murdoch here, and we're doing a Zoom meeting with Ida Hammer. I'm really thrilled to have Ida with us tonight because she has been working with Surefoot and with her trimmers, and they've been doing really interesting stuff. So in order to save time, I'm just going to turn it right over to Ida. Hi, Ida.
Hey, Wendy. Hi, everybody.
How you doing?
Good. How about you?
Good. All right. So why don't you just give everybody a little brief introduction, because my people probably may not all know you.
Okay. So I'm a applied whole horse hoof trimmer. I teach classes. I have about 95 graduates throughout the U.S. and I have a couple abroad. I was actually in, like, we do a lot with the whole horse, period. I'm like, it's not just about their feet. So I was introduced to your product quite a few years ago, but everybody knows how skeptical I am. So I'm like, I love you, man. But I'm like, I have to see the proof myself. So I was introduced, I knew about you through a mutual friend, Barb Dow. She was awesome. And so I didn't really do much with the pads when you first came out with them. But so a lot of our group, our trimmers, we really focus ourselves a lot on the whole horse. So it's really not just about their feet. The feet affects everything, and everything affects the feet. So as we continue our education, we actually took some classes. A group of us took a lot of classes with Jillian Kreinbring, was talking about proprioception and whatnot.
Hi, Rebecca, please turn off your video because you just popped on the screen.
Yep.
Let's see if I can do, there we go.
Yep.
Let's see, stop. Let's see if I can stop videos at this end so we get Ida back. Stop video. Okay, hopefully Ida, you're back. Yeah?
Okay. Yep, got me.
I don't have you on my screen, but keep going.
It keeps popping up. Rebecca keeps popping up on mine too.
Yeah, I think I got her blocked, but I don't. I'll just see if I can get you back. Anyway, keep talking.
So anyway, so we got to talking, like, during our biomechanics classes about proprioceptors and what you can do for a lot of the horses that we see different things appearing with. So one of the things Jillian Kreinbring had talked about was like walking horses across mattresses to actually fire their intrinsic muscles and to actually start their proprioception receptors to actually firing and working and causing them to make changes that we cannot physically cause them to make. So I, like, a light bulb went off in my head, and like a light bulb at the same time as I was hitting my head going, dang it. I'm like, Wendy told me about that. It was a long time ago. So I'm like, that's when I contacted you. We've got some of your products. We've got the physio pad. We've got hards. The firm pads are hard. Ours are the hards.
Yeah.
And then some wedges. So yeah. At that time, we was getting ready to take a pretty big tour of several states. So we probably used them on 30 horses just during that trip. And like the cool part is no matter what we was using them on, we saw significant differences in every horse. I'm like, to the good. So, like, there's no possible room for skepticism now for me. I'm like, and my people, my graduates, I'm like, they saw it too. I'm like, many of them instantly got their Surefoot pads, and they're using them already on their horses and their clients' horses, as awesome. we use ours on our dog too. So
awesome.
So it's all good.
Yeah, and actually, Jillian's been in touch with me through her organizer, and I'll be going down there in May to do a workshop, Surefoot workshop.
Very cool. Very cool. So it's good stuff, and it's funny because then you and I got to meet up in Tennessee. We actually when we do the hoofwear patterns class, the hoofwear patterns, and that was some really fun stuff that we got to do, because when we did that, we would videotape the horses before the Surefoot, and then we would just do various things. Wendy was there. We was lucky enough to have her there at that class. It was amazing because we would just do various things, and then we would videotape the horse before and after, and then we could split the screen and actually see by footfall what changed in those horses. And it's all about, on our end, it's all about the wear patterns in their feet, because you can actually catch a lameness before it's a lameness and be an offness. And the Surefoot pads, it's uncanny. I'm like, it's really uncanny how they affect things. I'm like, I got like some of the people that are on here tonight, I'm like, they've got stories of what's happened with their dressage horses in their barn and stuff. I'm like, it's just pretty awesome.
That's really cool. So you have some slides you want to share with us and some video?
Yeah, let me see if I can get that up, because I'm like, I know hooves but not computers so much. So,
yep, just go down to that little share button and
if I go to the desktop, maybe. So my desktop, I just get you. So I don't know, how do I get out of there to get my pictures?
Let's see, you could always reduce the screen size so that you can see your desktop.
Okay, let me do that. So that. I apologize. I'm just.
That's okay. And like I said, there's that little share button at the bottom, and that should let you share your screen. I don't want to.
Can you see the Surefoot? Can you see them now?
Nope. All I see is you. So it's that you hit the share button in the center of the screen at the bottom on the Zoom.
Okay. Open it. Okay, it brings me back to that. But I'm like, it brings me back up to. Oh, here we go.
All right, we got it. Good job.
Let me see. Can you see? Maybe make them bigger.
Yeah.
Okay. So, can everybody see these if I go through and talk about them?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. They're up on the screen.
Okay. So first one I want to talk about, and I don't have the whole horse on here, but this is one of my graduates' horses. It's a Frisian, and she'll clock me if I get that wrong, but he's a Frisian Percheron cross. And when he walks, you can actually watch him walk, and he has a lateral contortion of his stifle, his patella, when he's walking.
So you're looking at the second picture down in the first, yeah, that one. You can just click on it and make it bigger.
Okay. So it's this one right here. This was the still picture. I'm going to show you the video that we took of him though, because this is where we're all starting to go, holy cow. Because, so see where my arrow is going around the stifle?
Yep.
When he walks, I'm like, it kind of sublates laterally. So I'm like, he's not unsteady, but he's a big guy. He's growing fast. And so we was wondering, what would happen if we gave him a choice of the Surefoot. So we did that. Let me get this one out. I'm gonna go here, and this is the video. So when the cool part is when he was standing here, I'll play it in just a second, but when he was standing there, he looked like he was totally sedated. I'm like, and he's an energetic guy, so I'm like, he's not just a really lazy dude. He was acting like he was sedated. He was just totally relaxed and almost asleep. But we videotaped his muscle right here. Oh, you can actually see that. I'm like, he would contract his muscle on and off, and then when he walked off, it was not a miracle cure, but I'm like, you could actually definitely tell that it wasn't me.
Yeah, can you mute the sound on the video?
Yeah, I did. Sorry about that.
There you go. Perfect.
So, but he would contract that muscle of his, he wasn't doing, if you look at his face, you would swear that he was doing nothing. But that's why we started taping it. I'm like, look at all this muscle movement he's getting. And this was just the one time. We did so many experiments in Texas. It's crazy. But he was one of the ones that we did that I videotaped because it was kind of astounding.
So you could watch the muscles contract while he was standing on the pads?
Yeah. So I'll play it again. So watch, this is his stifle here, right here. And so when I play this, so let's see if I can get that to move, but so
there you go, you're back at the beginning.
You can actually see his muscle contracting.
Yeah, you can see it in the hair coat. The video is a little bit not running smoothly, but I see what you're talking about.
Okay, so we did more videos too. I'm like, some of them we did while in Tennessee where you're there, so lots of cool things. So do you want me to talk about more with all these, or I've got a lot to
whatever floats your boat. What
you tell me what you want me to go to next. Okay. So I'm gonna just start at the top then, and I'll go through these.
Yeah.
So this one here, this is Ada's Paso mix. Wait a minute. This is Ada's Paso mix, and she has an upward fixation of her patella on the right side, and she has a little bit of a catchy hawk on her left side, and so we just let her hang out and do what she wanted to, and she see her on the physio pad. Like, she puts herself in that position, and then after she does that, I'm like, she moves off a ton better. So I'm like, that is a position she chose with hers.
Well, and that's one of the things that I've seen with Surefoot that's so interesting is horses will stand in what appears to me to be really awkward or uncomfortable stances, but they're totally okay with it, right?
Yeah. It is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, here's see her yawning. Here's like, I
Oh,
had to
yeah,
get
yeah,
that. Because she's like, oh, she's had the best nap ever.
Yeah. So,
It's crazy.
you know, I mean, I've often, people ask me sometimes, like, why do I leave them like that? And to me, it's the horse that's choosing how to stand. And sometimes we might not understand why they're choosing that, but there's something that they're sensing or feeling that is why they're doing it. We just don't understand it, which is okay.
It is. I'm like, it's amazing though, because, well, as you know, like when we was in Tennessee and we did this at the hoof wear patterns class. When we walk them off and videotape them, we can see a whole difference in their whole muscular movements. Everything was like easier. Like it just looked like they had body work done.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is our foxtrotter here. I won't go to all the procedural pictures, but he's like, he doesn't really have a lot wrong, like with as far as like any fixations or anything, but he loves to stand on the physio. But their favorite so far is the physio pads. He does like the firm pads once in a while, but he likes the physio pad the best.
Isn't that
He can
interesting?
stay there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, that's a pad that, like, we designed it originally for farriers, and then my physical therapist over in Germany started using that pad during their treatment. So they put the horse on the pad and then do whatever treatment they were going to do. And so that's why we renamed it to Physio Pad. But I find it a really interesting pad because, like, this horse really, really enjoys it. And it's like, I love the picture. You have a picture of a person over there. Yeah.
Yeah, I moved that because I wanted to. So this is at your class we did in Tennessee. So everybody wanted to try them out. So just so they could see what they felt. And Lori and I were laughing about it last weekend when we were there for other classes. But when we had all those lined up, and you can't really see it because there was a whole line on the porch of all the different Surefoot pads.
Yep.
But when we were doing that, we couldn't hardly keep the dogs off the pads. I'm like, they were all wanting to stand on the pads. And at that time, you had just gotten your new pad that had the texture to it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we're still in beta with the dog pads. I have one person over in Europe that's doing a lot of testing with them, and she just sent me a bunch of pictures. So I've got to go through and kind of have a chat with her about it and see where we're at.
Cool. Well, I want to bring up another picture, but then if it's okay, I want to bring up another subject too.
Yeah, let's do it.
So one of my graduates that's on here on the talk tonight. So you and I had talked, Mike, and I talk about it at every class with about Dr. Bowker's findings with the ultrasound and the terry cloths.
Yep.
So one of my grads is fixing to actually make a pillowcase, so to speak, of a terry cloth. And slip that over there and see if it changes, because I'm like, the pads themselves are amazing proprioceptor firing. I don't know how else to put it, but I'm like, they really fire their proprioceptors.
Yeah.
But we're curious. I'm like, and we need to really see if we can get a veterinarian on board to ultrasound the blood flow. But Dr. Bowker has got research papers stating the blood flow difference in the texture of the terry cloths. So Missy's going to actually make a terry cloth pillowcase. I couldn't wait to tell you. I could have waited a couple weeks when I saw you, but
that's okay.
I'm really excited about that to see, like, just to see what the horses are like. And they're like, we'll have one pad that doesn't have it and one pad that does, and so they'd be able to choose which one that they thought was, felt better. So
yeah, that's awesome, and that the whole texture thing is really fascinating. About whether or not, like, the little half pods, the little half round pods have a lot of texture to them, and the horses really seem to like that. So.
Yes. I have one of those on here, and it's a video. So watch this horse on these pads here. This was one of Lori's horses, and he has had some injuries to his hooves. He's an older horse, but so I'm trying to
just mute your sound on the video.
I'm muting it. Sorry.
It's okay. No problem.
There we go. Let's see if I can get that off of there. There. So, like, you can watch him and watch his face, and I'm like, and he's not a lame horse, but he's got thin soles, and he had a horrible neck injury when he was younger, and so because this was the class that you were at.
Oh yeah, I thought I recognized.
Yeah, and you just said, hey, let's try these. We were talking about texture with him, and you're like, let's try these pods, And like, look at his face. I'm like, he just loves it.
Yeah.
And he stayed there. I'm like, if they always, what I'm finding out is they always get off of them if they don't like them. I'm like, but
Yes,
they,
absolutely.
and they'll do various things. They'll either stay on them a long time. Sometimes they won't do the same thing every time. Maybe they only will, like Ada's horse will get to where she'll just put one foot on the physio pad and she will actually walk her rest of her body around to pick up hay or whatever and not take that foot off that pad.
I've actually seen horses where they turn, but they move the pad with them so they can keep their foot on it.
Yes, she definitely does that too. It's like, it's funny.
Yeah.
So there's another one on here. I was like, and this is kind of crazy, but I'm like, so this horse, let me bring it up. This horse, we had the advanced professionals class in Texas, and one of my graduates is also a tooth person. She's Ashley Greenhill. She does natural balance dentistry. And so this horse, he actually had a slab fracture of one of his teeth, and Ashley was able to help him out. He wasn't eating. He was acting real lethargic and just a mess. So Ashley did his teeth, and then we brought him up and stood him on the pads, and we've got the hard set here.
Yep.
I'm like, and he chose those. And so this is him. And let me go back here. So this is like, so I'm like, you can kind of watch him get sleepier here. So this is like, he's like, oh, okay, I've been sedated, which he wasn't. And then I love this picture. Like, I'm like, he wasn't sedated to have his teeth done. I'm like, he was just totally relaxed, and it helped him. So then this is like, because I'm a hoof nerd, I apologize about that.
No, that's okay. That's why you're here, because you're a hoof nerd.
Okay, so look at this. It's like, this is another thing that's cool about the pads. So here's the before, like, and you know, Ashley did his teeth. We worked on his feet some, and then here's the after footprint.
Wow.
Like, you can, so we do that too. I'm like, we'll just study those to see how the horse is loading their feet.
Right.
And to me, I'm like, they have a lot of proprioception in their teeth as well. So he had his teeth done. We worked with his feet, and then we put him on the pads. And like, when he walked off, he's like, nothing had ever been wrong with him.
Wow. That's really cool. It's really cool to see that you're working with other people like the dentist and stuff, because, you know, I mean, we know that all these things affect each other. That's a given, but that's really cool to see how much change there is from doing the teeth and then using the pads before and after. That's really cool.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. And so here's another cool thing that we saw. Like, if I'm talking too much, just
no, keep going. You're doing good.
Sorry. But so this is a horse that we did in Tennessee. Let me get it muted right off the bat here. So this is a horse that we did in Tennessee when you was with us, and I think it's going to end up showing, like, I was trying to get how the fascia started to relax. But this is the horse that was at Lori's that has fibrotic myopathy, and so we set her on several pads. But watch the pectoral muscles here. So let me get this off. So watch these. Oh, it keeps doing that. Look up here. Watch these. See that right here?
Yep.
See that one?
Yep.
So really affected her pectoral muscles. I thought I had a picture of her face, because she's the one that, so it was crazy. Let me see if it's this one. It was crazy. So right here, you placed her on, she's just on the medium pads, I believe, back here. So see this up here, her face.
Oh, she's the one that had the wrinkles in
the soft ones.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes. So like, when you look here, yes. So I'm going to play this video, and I think it will show it, because I think I switched the camera over there because I was like, holy cow. So for you guys that weren't there, this horse is super, super, super tight everywhere. And so, so Wendy put these pads underneath her back feet, and well, the horse, like, we tried all different kinds, but this is the one that this horse liked. And then as she started relaxing, you can, thing to get closer, you'll see how her fascia just starts to relax on her face. And she actually had some do that on her shoulder too, but I don't know if I got all that. But so you can kind of see just how she starts to relax out here. And see the wrinkles in her cheek right here?
Yeah. And I remember those because that became so obvious.
Yes.
Like, it was wild.
Yes. It was so awesome, because for that, I'm like, so in my mind, I'm like, I don't know, but I'm like, I just try to wrap my head around all this stuff that's happening. And, and this is where my skepticism started with all of it, is because my first thought was, how in the world can just putting a horse on a pad do that stuff? But it is uncanny. So when you actually see that their fascia, I'm like, which is a huge nerve ending part of their whole body, when their fascia starts to relax to that point that their skin can actually loosen up, I'm like,
Yeah.
you can't make that up.
No, you can't make that up. And so that's the thing, is the horses aren't lying. They're showing us what's going on. We just have to be the observer and set them up for the opportunity is really the thing.
Yes. It's I'm like, it is happy dance crazy to me. I like to see this. So here's like this one, I think I got her swaying. So like this, she really liked this. The mute off here. So like, and so she's the one that's got the if you see up here, you can see how tight her muscle is a little bit, but she's that swaying, she's doing that, she just I'll play it again. She was just, and you can actually look at her muscles. I'm like, I don't want to keep moving my mouse, but I'm like, if you look at it, I have to move my mouse. If you watch it, this is the thing that my graduates and stuff, I'm like, we all nerd out together on all this stuff, because
I can't wait to come up and do the clinic with you guys, because it's gonna be just like so geeky, but so much fun.
You know it. I'm like, everybody's like, they're all excited, and like you just see all these changes. And I didn't get it on here. I'm like, I tried to get all my files together, but I've been traveling like crazy too. But we did one at the advanced professionals class in Illinois, and he is a horse that is tight from head to tail, and I'm like, I will try to get him more pictures of that going. But we put him on several of the different Surefoot pads, and we actually had one of my graduates had a infrared thermographic camera.
Yeah.
And so what was cool about him, and I don't have that in my files yet, but what was cool about him is circulation per se, where you get the red, like you actually start seeing everything start to level out and be not a tight spot, but like a chilled spot. Like he was just like relaxing finally, to not have to have so much inflammation and so much tightness.
Oh, that's really cool, because I've got somebody over in Holland that has an infrared camera, and they're going to get together with one of my Dutch people to do some of that work. So it'd be really fun to get a couple of different people doing that.
Yeah, I will. I will try to have that ready for when you come up here, so I can show you. Oh, I want to show you this horse too. This is pretty awesome. So this guy, he's got bilateral contracture of his deep flexor tendons, and it really stemmed from a horrible abscessing that he had, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and he's super tight, and so he's doing really well and he's sound now, but he could not wait to put his feet on this pad. And wow. I'm like, and this is the way he chose to stand with it. Like,
so if you wanted to speak to other barefoot trimmers and farriers about Surefoot, like what would you want to tell them from your experience so far?
So what I would say, and like my graduates, I'm like, a lot of my graduates are using these in their everyday trimming now because it's huge to us. But what I would say, first of all, I'm like, it's never just about the hooves. And so in all honesty, no matter how good of a trim we do, it's not going to be good enough without everything else that applies to it, meaning the body, the teeth, the diet, everything. So if you can take a horse that has any kind of a strange wear pattern, like for whatever reason that we may not, like they're not always what they're considered lame. They're off or they have a off beat. If you can spend a few minutes and physio pad, but like we try to have several, and just it doesn't take a long time just to like set the horse on there, and a lot of the horses will just relax as soon as they're on the physio pad. So I'm like, first of all, I'm like, it's a safety thing for the trimmer. Second of all, it's a benefit for the horse, and you can do so another thing, again, I'm hopping subjects, but kind of same category. A lot of gaited horses are hypermobile, and so a lot of the times that we're trimming them, we get a certain trim that we're trying to do and trying to get them to move and unobstructed, and it's hard for them because their joints are a bit hyper. So fired up about this in the first place is it helps them fire their intrinsic muscles to where their joints are more stable. And if their joints are more stable, we're more safe as a trimmer, and we can do a better job. Like, just hands down.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Yeah, because I know that gaited horses tend to be hypermobile, but I hadn't thought about like getting the intrinsic muscles to work so that they're more stable, which makes sense when I think about it. I just hadn't thought about it, you know, so that's really cool.
Yeah. One of, well, several of my students have been doing stuff with these. I'm like, there's not enough time to tell you all the cool stuff because, I think Nancy is on here. She's done some stuff with her dressage horse, her own personal dressage horse. And the people at the barn were so impressed with that they, like, all the dressage people there got it. And I think, I'm not positive, like Nancy had to correct me when the mic's open, but I think that they all got like higher placements and higher scores, like religiously afterwards.
I remember she posted that up on Facebook.
She was trimming her horse and just.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, and I have another student in Texas that's working with the body worker down there, and the improvements. I had some video footage of that. I was like trying to shove everything in a short amount of time, but really, honestly, I'm like, I just can't say enough good things about this. And all of my grads are saying the same thing. So it's not just my crazy self, but
no, that's so cool.
My graduates and practitioners are saying the same.
You know, it's really exciting for me to get more farriers and barefoot trimmers involved because, like you said, the safety thing is the reason we made that physio pad. We wanted to make everybody safer, and we figured if we made the horse more comfortable, we'd accomplish that. But, you know, also to see how you're using it and looking at before and after with the horses. So, you know, it's just really exciting to me to see that it's heading in this direction because it's just going to make it better and easier for everybody. And especially if it's getting those intrinsic muscles firing with those gaited horses, that's really cool.
It's crazy. 2 more quick things, and maybe not quick, but I'll try to talk fast. But,
okay, we got 3 minutes.
Yeah, I know it. So we experimented with the horse in Texas that had angular deformities to the point that she had, I might be saying this wrong, but she had 3 screws in one fetlock and 2 screws in the knee, and then the other one had 2 screws in the fetlock. And that horse was unbelievable. And I didn't get the footage of her on here, but we put her on the hard pads and watched her. It was like, even with the angular deformity with screws in her joints, I'm like, it still made a difference. And like, we did videotape her, I just don't have it.
Yeah, that's
and then the wear patterns that was on, like we did a wear pattern test on the pads, like we showed you on the tooth horse. We did that, and that was amazing with her.
I'm looking forward to seeing that
one. And then one of my other graduates, like after we worked with you in Tennessee.
Yep.
She has an amazing horse. Like, he's done lots and lots of things, but he is very, very, very girthy. So she used the physio pad religiously, and I'm like, he's improved every time to where it's no big deal now. Again, about the vagus nerve, what you talked about in the past and how that helps.
That's awesome. Yeah, Violet's on here, and we're going to bring her back for another part 2 of vagus nerve. So I'm going to post that Zoom meeting when we get that date organized. Cool. So we've got less than a minute. So I just want to thank everybody for signing on, and we'll get this up in the recorded version. And we've got the workshop coming up in October 2nd and 3rd. It's going to be in Illinois. I think we still have
3rd and 4th, isn't it?
3rd and 4th, yeah.
Don't be scaring me like that, girl.
Sorry. Do we have any space left in there? Is there still some slots open?
I think there's a few slots. I think last count, I think that we have 16 or 17.
Okay, so just a few slots left. Awesome. And maybe we can do something live when we're there on Facebook.
That would be fun. That'd be awesome. That'd be very, very cool.
Great. All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. And if you have any questions afterward, just put them on the email, put them on Facebook so that we can all share, and we'll get Ida to answer the questions, or I'll answer the questions, whoever they're directed to. And yeah, this is great. Thanks so much, Ida. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks, guys, for listening to us.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.